Welcome, welcome. Hmm. These gatherings are really about connecting with you, connecting with others, connecting with your ability to give and receive your attention. And one of the things I am reminded of every day in the small times that I move around in the world is that when I'm able to just connect with another person, there's something quite palpable that moves between us. And I'm calling that presence and connection. And so the purpose of these meetings is to use our ability to choose how we are using our attention. Our attention is an incredible gift, but it's also something that becomes invisible to most of us. And we get into attention habits, and so part of what we're doing here with loops and scoops is expanding our ability to use our attention. And I know that when someone gives me their full attention, it creates a sense of well being in me that really nothing else does. Our ability to see other people, to connect with them, to give the gift of our presence. And the other thing that we're really doing in this meeting is moving from fear to love through presence and our attention, how we're gathering our attention, using our attention is something that we can keep cultivating lifelong. And so I want to play with you, and every week we play with different ways that we can both harness our attention, but that we can also interrupt the patterns that we have with our attention so that the gift of our attention can be given to us and to others. And one of the things I've noticed with my attention is that I can, as I'm giving and receiving it, it kind of renews it. It's like filling my reservoir just by exchanging attention. It begins to unblock my ability to receive it myself. So that's one of the things I'd like you to play with today. And I'd also like to invite you today to choose an intention to add to your attention. So, for example, I can give my attention with appreciation. I can infuse it with being sensitively aware of or focusing on what's working. Or I could have the intention of expanding my attention. I could just connect up directly my ability to love what I'm attending to. So I'd like you to take a moment to just notice what bubbles up from you of what intention you would like to add to your attention. Hmm. And often I create a if I am stuck and my mind is not moving creatively. If I add a to that, that opens up my wondering. So is a great thing to add to your attention because that creates a sense of wonder in both directions. So what I'd like you to play with first is what's the usual way that you use your attention? So when you're looking out, a little phlegmy today, pardon me. I'd like you to attend out. Most of us, when we're attending for something. So I'd like you to look out with your attention like you're looking for something, like I'm looking for leaves on the driveway, or I'm looking for where, if I'm giving attention to me, I'm looking for what's wrong. So those are a couple of ways that we use our attention. Like I'm using it to fix, like, okay, what needs fixing out there and what needs fixing in here? So use your attention that way just a couple of times. Look out for, okay, what needs fixing? And then let yourself turn your attention inward and notice what happens when you're looking for what's wrong and you're using your attention that way. What I notice right away is that my breathing gets a little more narrow And I've kind of come up in my body. And I also, my eyes get a little bit more, I get a little more focused and I come forward. So let yourself play with that and let yourself exaggerate what happens to your body when you use your attention to look for what's wrong. I get a little squinty eyed, and I can feel like I can feel judgmental thoughts going on in my mind, like, okay, oh, there it goes again. And the same thing with inside. And I'd like you to take some way of moving your attention, moving your body to open space for your attention. So I'd like you to let yourself open your eyes, relax around your eyes, because that's one of the places we use our attention. And let yourself now shift to shifting your attention with a and then letting it send out. And I'm kind of doing a little sweep with my attention. Hmm. And then I'm going to do a sweep inside with my attention. Hmm. When I'm cleaning or when our house gets cleaned, there's this little feather duster that they take over things, which just gently removes things, but it doesn't attack them. Imagine that you had just a fuzzy brush of your attention that you're using to open space out there and then open space in here and just shifting your attention, simply shifting your attention refreshes. So I'd like you to notice, you could take a little baseline about how you're feeling in your body, what you're noticing. And then as you're shifting your attention, see what I'm noticing, just even as we're simply shifting out there to in here, is that I'm feeling a kind of awakening. Feeling more space in there. And so I'd like you to just go ahead and take that into some love scoops. I'd like you to bring in some attention and give it to you. Bring in, because love and attention are really the same thing. When I'm giving attention, I'm giving the gift of my presence. And we really consider love to be letting myself be in the same space with something else. And if I'm giving my attention, I'm really loving. I'm presencing and I'm loving, so I can bring that in and give it to me. Hmm. And then noticing if you let that land and you let that be absorbed. Because sometimes we do love scoops with the sense of, it's still with the sense of what's wrong. So I do love scoop and then I sort of bounce off. So if you're doing a love scoop and you're giving it to yourself, the word that's coming to me is percolating. Let it percolate down and in. And if you're love scooping and giving that out, let that percolate like a sprinkler. We had some images a few weeks ago of water, and imagine that your love is sprinkling, but it's also then percolating so that you give it a chance to ah land. We have a term that we sometimes use, we call it fly by loving, that you pass your mate and you go, love you babe, or love you as you're going out the door, or you might even say that to yourself. You look in the mirror and you kind of go, oh, you look good. And then what immediately follows that is, oh, but your, no, oh, but your hair, or oh, but your thigh. So I'd like you to imagine that you are in a continuous flow of love and presence, and that your job is to let it percolate. So take a moment to make percolating moves in your body, like soaking it up. And feel any place in you that feels a little dry or a little flat and wants some more percolating. And it can be big percolating or subtle percolating. Ah, ooh, I felt that one all the way down through my feet, down through the bottoms of my feet. So it can be percolating back into the ground, and then you can love scoop to you and let it percolate. And then you can love scoop and let the love scoop move with your attention out into the world, out into, you could actually, let's take a moment or a couple of moments to have you love scoop and send that to somebody else on the call, somebody else whose picture is there, somebody whom you can see moving. Yes, and you might get into a little love scoop exchange with somebody. That's beautiful. And then you can pick somebody else you don't know and do a little love scoop. And be sure to let yourself receive. We can get so excited about the other person that we forget to receive. So percolating and receiving, and then percolating and giving. And then let yourself witness the other person percolating. And then let yourself respond to how that percolating felt to you. Ooh, and take that in and let that move all the way through you. I'm getting these really nice little shivers. So notice the ways in which your body is letting you know, ooh, I like this, or oh, a little bit more over here. And the back of my body is just saying, hey, what about me? What about the back? I hold you up, I move you around, and do you ever give me any attention? Yes, I'm going to right now. So love scoops and let it fall down the back of you like you're in a love shower, and let your back, oh yes, I like that one. And find your own percolating sounds. Ah, I particularly like the ah sound because it creates space, ah, and integration at the same time. And let your body tell you, I'm feeling want to do some standing up. So let your body tell you any other way that you'd like to be love scooping, percolating. And that can involve touch, it can involve sound. Mm. And then love scooping and sharing that out with another person on the call, with somebody that you don't know, but you've been thinking of. Well, send that out and imagine that percolating all the way through them. Mm, mm. And let your body, ask your body if there are any more sounds that your body wants to make that you can let be big or little as you're shifting your attention. Hmm. And one of the big benefits of shifting your attention is that you can refresh yourself anytime. So just notice how playing here, love scooping, shifting your awareness, how that has refreshed you. And know that you can give that to yourself anytime. And sometimes I like to just use my hands as a little reminder. So some for me and some for you. And you can actually learn how to do that at the same time. So as you're practicing, there may be a point where you're recognizing, oh, I'm giving to you and I'm giving to me. It's kind of like, whoo, it becomes a love loop. And anytime you forget, and anytime you feel like a little stuck or flat, simply play with shifting your attention. Shift and percolate, shift and percolate. And then you can enjoy refreshed attention for all of the loving and creating and connecting that you want to do in the world. So please, if you're wanting to, you can unmute yourself and you can add sounds to this. And you are welcome to stay on the call to share with each other. And thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your love and attention. And I look forward to seeing you next time. We also wanted to invite you to invite others. So people that you'd like to connect with, invite them to come here, that you can connect with them in this way. So until next time, mwah, I'll see you next week. Mwah.
See you next.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.